St. Louis, Missouri. I'll be in St. Louis, St. Louis, here we come. Home to Anheuser-Busch, the Energizer Bunny, and nearly 3 million people in the metropolitan area of St. Louis. It is the 19th largest city in the American United States of America. And who is that peeking through the Grand Arch, the Gateway Arch? Why, it's Rick, Eric, and Scott, the 3 metalheads that make up the band that I am talking about today in this vlog, and they are called the Lion's Daughter. What did Eddie Vedder say when he first heard the name the Lion's Daughter? He said, "The Lion's Daughter, they're groovy." I'm sorry, that's a terrible joke, but the minute I heard the band name the Lion's Daughter, I instantly thought to myself, don't call me daughter. I don't know why. And no, I am not talking about The Lion's Daughter, the hot, sexy, erotic novel by Loretta Chase. I'm talking about the goddamn heavy metal band from St. Louis, Missouri. I was looking around the internet for some music that I hadn't heard before, something fresh, something hot, something different, something new, something that excites me, something that gets in my bones, something that makes me tap my foot, gives the metal horns, rocks out really hard, something heavy, something dystopian, something dark and gloomy and dim and sad and scary. And I found it with this band. I had never heard the name of this band before, but it intrigued. It intrigued me. I said, The Lion's Daughter. Wow. New album, and I've never heard of this band before. The Lion's Daughter. Intrigued. Intrigued. I was very intrigued. The band formed in 2007. They have 3 full-length albums. They have 2013's A Black Sea. They have 2016's Existence is Horror, and the album that I'm talking about today, Future Cult. It's fresh, it's brand new. It was released on the 20th of July, 2018. There's 10 tracks. It's about 40 minutes long, I would say. On Season of Mist Records, they put out a lot of heavy bands. I think they just put out that new Marduk album, Victoria, or Victorious. They've worked with Abath, they've worked with Gorguts. Of course, the Lion's Daughter that I'm talking about today, St. Vitus. So they work with some heavy metal bands. So I'm searching around the internet. I come across the Lion's Daughter. I see the albums, and then I see the artwork for this new album, Future Cult. And the artwork alone is amazing. It's creepy as hell. The art is by MothMeister. I'll put a link to his Etsy page on there. It shows this weird figure in a monk-type hood with almost a kind of bridal gown or something wrapped around his shoulders. A white S&M mask with a little zipper mouth. You open that up to put the peckers in or whatever. It's holding a mummified lamb. Now, there are only 3 reasons in the world why somebody would be holding a lamb. And it's either because, A, it's a pet, it's a friend. 2, it's food. It's going to be something yummy that you put in your tum-tum, or it's your lover. And with the S&M mask and all that going on in this creepy image, I couldn't tell you. Is he going to eat the damn thing? Is it his friend? It's wrapped in bandages? Or are you gonna fuck it later? I don't know. But very creepy artwork. I mean, between the sound of the band, between the name of the band, which is it's different. It's a different name than you've heard before. The Lion's Daughter. Where do you hear that from? And then you've got this album cover. Ta-da! You're like, this is a click, baby. I gotta listen to this, and I gotta see what it's all about. And I was absolutely blown away. This is heavy music. This is despair. The growling vocals deep, rich, raw, authentic. There's something about a growling voice. When you hear growl singers, there's a difference between they're growling and they're pushing it, and they're just trying to get through the song, and it's killing them. And then there's this deliciousness where it's almost natural for them to scream. You know, it's like that deep, dark growl, like when you spill paint in the garage and dad comes in and yells at you. You know that's coming from a really dark place. Or like when you accidentally open the door and your dad's got his legs spread open and he's banging away with a dilly-dee. A real growl, a guttural, true to itself growl, great vocal. I love the sound of the drums. The drums on this thing, what I like about his style of play is he can go through blast beats, sure. There's even almost an open hi-hat, like you could get rid of all the music and put this beat to a disco beat. So what I like about the drums is he's wide open. He can do some tribal stuff, he'll do some blast beat stuff, he'll do an open hi-hat little number. He's wide open to the idea of using any kind of style of drumming that he wants. And to the bass, now keep in mind, guys, this is 3 guys. You got Rick, Eric, and Scott, 3 guys. Now it's heavy with synth samples, and that really wraps the album together. You've got this heavy, dystopian, grinding, gear grinding, crushing, just destruction. A heavy wall of guitar and bass sound, and the drums that lay in beautifully with it. But then you've also got these creepy ass 80s horror movie slasher sounding synths that play on this album, and it's like peanut butter and jelly with a little splash of mom's kisses on top of it. The synth ties everything together beautifully, and it adds a whole new level of creepiness, darkness, and tragedy and sadness to this whole album, which makes it fantastic. I would dare say these guys, I know these guys are all fans of 80s horror films. I mean, you have that vibe. You have that vibe through this album. I mean, you could take this album, you could take Future Cold, and you could say, hand it over to, Dario Argento and say, hey, go ahead and make a movie around that, and they could do it. I really do believe that they could do it. It would be something set in some kind of a welding yard or something like that, some kind of dystopian craziness going on, but just fantastic. I mean, from beginning to end, you have this is just a solid record. I would dare say that the guys are fans of, I would say, Godflesh, probably for one. I hear Broderick's vocal styling. I kind of hear some of that in this band's vocal. I would say that they're older Killing Joke. They're probably fans of that. Maybe some old grindcore Terrorizer. With the blast beat stuff, it kind of reminded me of those first couple of albums from Terrorizer, with a splash of Neurosis on it. But overall, yeah, I mean, an album to check out, to be sure. To be sure. Does it sound like I'm screaming? I feel like I'm going, hey, hey, hey. I just can't help myself. I mean, when I came across this album and I saw the artwork, and that's the way it is for a lot of people. You see that artwork. That's the way you used to get metal albums back in the day, okay? That's the way you used to do it. You'd go into the record shop, you'd pick that record up and go, this looks crazy. This looks crazy. I've got to check this out. But between the name of the band and the artwork and then hitting play and feeling like you are inside the record, you are involved in this, I mean, it's just great. Favorite songs? Grease, Infant. I don't know what that means. There is no reason in the world you should ever be greasing an infant. I don't care if you're planning to eat it or fuck it. There's no reason why you should ever be greasing an infant. But that is one of my favorite songs on the album. Call the Midnight Animal is another great track on there. It reminds me of these S&M Jedi guys that's on the album cover. It reminds me of like maybe they have to call this creature in the middle of the night. And then that creepy monster animal shows up to grease the infant or whatever. Maybe that's the reason they have to grease the infant is when they call the Midnight Animal, it comes and goes, oh, there's the greased infant that I was wanting. Future Cult, great opening track. Kind of it sets in motion the idea of this is what you're in for with this album. You are going to be barraged with brutality and darkness and gloom and doom and misery, and you're going to love every minute of it. Die Into Us, another one. I mean, then there's these little interludes. There's Girl Autopsy. I love Galaxy Ripper. The whole thing, 10 tracks. I think you're really going to enjoy this whole thing. I am going to put all the links below. I'm going to put links to the artist. I'm going to put links to the Bandcamp page, to live video of this band, and to where you can pick up the album. I'm going to put the link to Season of Mist in there as well. I'm giving this album 3 greased infants, 2 cat and nine-tail whips on your bare ass, and I'm giving it 4 heavy metal horns up in the air, and I'm giving it 1 angry dad with a dildy in his ass going, turn that shit down. Go check this band out. That's all I've got, guys. I had to praise the album that I heard. First listen, The Lion's Daughter, Future Cult. Like, comment, subscribe, be my friend. I love you so goddamn much. Don't I tell you that all the time? I'm always telling you that I love you so much, and I think I just hit 500 subscribers. So with that, I'm going to swing in for a kiss with these juicy spitting lips that have been spitting all over the place. I'm going to give you that kiss, and we're going to call it a day on this here vlog, okay? So you have a great day, and we'll talk again soon. Sound good? Okay, good.